Welcome to another episode of St Vincent Untold Stories. On this episode, we ask the question, where is the 500 and the $400 in income support promised to other workers in the red zone? We also look at some untold stories in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Big ups to all of my subscribers. And if you are new to the channel, hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the bell icon. Cause I know you would want to see more videos like these. I am kindly asking the persons from the red zone that is locked on to Untold Stories to message our WhatsApp number at 1784 454 3536 and tell us if you have received any form of income support. Because there are persons that I know haven't received anything, and we are not talking about monies from the World Food Program, because when the statement was issued, there was no mention of the monies being handed out by the World Food Program. Those monies from the World Food Program came from them to help out St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The agreement was that those monies were to be paid for the period of 7 months, and there have not been any public posts or any press conference saying that any income support were paid to persons that were not fisher folks and farmers. So the farmers received their first payment in June, and there were posts on social media saying where those farmers should go and collect those monies, and those payments were made. What about the income support for the others? How come we are not seeing that? Remember, we told you that we are in contact with evacuees on a daily basis, and none of them have received any form of income support, and some of them was working. Remember, Nemo has the names of all the evacuees, and that monies can't be paid like how the farmers got it, because the farmers had to present a farmer's ID in order to get those monies. Remember, there were people in the red zone employed with themselves and so forth. So once they could show proof that they were making an income, then that income support has to be provided to them. Another thing again, I saw a post that the big man made saying that they already gave us some $13 million. But I'm saying this. Why is the soufriere volcano relief monies being added up within the stimulus packages and so forth? That is separate. Don't try that on us. Don't try to count in the volcano relief monies in that. We are watching you. That should be dealt with separate. That is why we are asking for accountability. Remember, we know these men are very smart. That stimulus package came long before the volcano erupted. So what are you telling us? That monies are going to disappear just like that? No, sir. Allegations were made by some evacuees that a lady by a shelter in the Brighton area is going around saying that she is the boss of the shelter. Who made you boss of the volcano relief monies that came for everybody? Who made you boss of the supplies that came for everybody? Some of you can't even run your own homes and marriages and talk to your children in the way that you are talking to persons in the shelter. Before you be boss in the shelter, be boss at your home, please. We gave the big man time to make things right, and he did not do it. So we are turning it up a notch now. We are letting the world know what is going on. Some low-income houses were given out to persons affected by floods, and those who live next to the beaches where the water came up. So tell me something, the Gemma live next to a beach. Was her house damaged from before? Why she got a low-income house? What is the connection with that? Because there are persons in Sandy Bay living under extreme poverty that really needs a house. There was a lady that was living next to the bayside that did not get. She lives in Chapman's now by her daughter. And her house was washed out by the sea and the river. Oh, well, I guess she was not a party card holder. So that's the way thing goes in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Flood wash out the houses next to one another and you only give to some because some are not your party card holders. That's the way you guys do things. You see, we were watching you guys all the time and giving you time to fix the problem. But it's long overdue now. It has been 20 years plus. I told you when you came in, you did a lot of good things. You built a lot of buildings, and now some of those buildings are empty. Some of the parks are locked up, causing an increase of crime in certain communities. In your constituency of places like Parkhill and South Rivers, fruits are dropping off of trees, and you are telling us about vision, and you are the man? No, can't it be? That geothermal money that you guys wasted should have built like 3 or 4 factories. We could have been canning stuff, providing employments for the youths. The prisons should have been empty. But you knew that you didn't create enough employment and there would be an increase in crime. So you went and built a prison on the leeward side because the one in town could not hold everybody, because the youths didn't have jobs. So some of them had to steal to provide for themselves and their families. Remember what they say about being idle? The devil finds work for idle hands. You see, there were reports that the administration before your administration was doing the same thing and choosing sides and dealing with their people of force. But you came in and you had time to change that. If they spend 17 years and you came in and spent 20, it means that your reign is longer than theirs. So you do not fix the problem. You choose a side as well, which while you should have stopped that. Every time you look on a social media, it's either a new product from Samsung or Apple, as the S7, as the S8, as the S9 and the S10. Everything is improving in different areas of the world. But in St. Vincent, nothing is improving. It's over and over again. The same cycle is repeating itself. As the country is stagnant under extreme poverty because of the side thing. If a youth has a vision, if a youth is a creator, they try to block you in. There are persons within the public sector that deserve a promotion. But no, they are not given those promotions. Which while there are persons now who know the big man personally, that just comes in to the job and gets a higher salary than those who have been working there for years. You think that we don't know officers who went straight from training school into offices, never went to a station a day in their life, because they are their families know the big man. When it have had working officers and beat and a patrol every day, I can't even get a promotion because their families are not so close to the big man. It have mothers and fathers in households that are working and they are getting public assistance and help from the big man to help their kids. Then on the other side, it have families, nobody is working, and they can't even get a little support to send their children to school. At Untold Stories, we are neutral. We are not on any sides. Because as I told you before, that same thing was going on with the other side. Because when you look in certain communities, and you go on a certain street, you notice those lands belonged to persons that supported the previous administration. So we can't lie here. We have to give you the truth as it is. There are certain streets that all the houses on that side was in support of the past administration, and I won't lie to you. It is time that we stop the side thing. Mr. Big Man, there are youths that are willing to work alongside you to make sure the country move forward. But this blocking thing is getting to them. Evacuees, pay a close attention to what is going on. There are some persons and the big man's side that is more important than you. Imagine you are at a shelter and all of you are supporting the big man, and yet some persons are trying to be boss over you, showing themselves on you for a little food. There was an image sent to us yesterday with a family receiving a cheap toilet paper and a Colgate. Some might say yes, that is something still. But then again, man, that needs more than that. A whole family, cheap toilet paper and a Colgate. Nemo, come on. And I will say this again, at Untold Stories, we are not going to promise anyone anything until those things arrive. You see, if we know they arrive already and they are at the customs, no problem. But this is the thing I warned you already before, that sometimes persons make promises to make donations and those donations never come true. And you know, we are living in a life that not everything is perfect. Somebody might ship a barrel or a container, then it is delayed. And that is another reason why the big man had asked persons to send money instead. Because some persons are so in need that they need the stuff immediately. Sometimes we run out of stuff and we have to call other persons for help. Right now, we have a shortage of food again because persons are calling for food. There have been several allegations made that some persons are really greedy. When the trucks come into the areas to distribute the food packages, if you know you got this morning, oh my, don't go back this evening, no, please, no. Let somebody else get some, no. Another allegation is that some persons are collecting items from Red Cross and so forth and are selling them in Kingston. If persons are doing that, it goes to show there is extreme poverty. Mr. Big Man, we need to start canning our resources. Let us put the things in pans so we can provide employment. Remember, you have to set up probably a factory that is going to make the things. You might have set up one that is going to make the paper for the labels. You will have the processing plant in which the items are being cleaned, sliced and so forth. Public servants, please be reminded that before the volcano monies came, that they said that you might not be paid. Always remember that in the back of your head. Never forget it. And the way things are going, that money might run out just now. So it's back to square one again. So you better tell the big man, start constructing factories. With that being said, we just want to big up the entire population in St Vincent and the Grenadines, the regional islands and the international countries who are supporting and praying for us during these difficult times. We thank you.